You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and white sports fans, we know about the rash of injuries that have actually kind of plagued the NBA playoffs so far in this 2021 NBA playoffs. We've seen superstar athletes actually drop down and go out because of injuries. However, majority of these players already had a history of actually being injury prone. But that did not stop LeBron James from building in the excuse as to the reason why he actually flamed out in the first round of the playoffs. LeBron James blamed the NBA because apparently the NBA is supposed to listen to him. You know, they're not supposed to negotiate, with the Players Association. They're supposed to listen to him. And LeBron James came out and said they didn't want to listen to me in a tweet rant, and he was just making an excuse for himself flaming out in the playoffs. And the NBA came back and they said, well, no, you're wrong, LeBron. The injuries, they're pretty much the same as the past 3 to 5 seasons. And we know that is the facts. And LeBron James did not provide any facts to actually back up what he actually put out there. Now, one of the biggest LeBron James loyalists out there is Shannon Sharpe from FS1's Undisputed. And he was actually traveling through an airport. I don't know exactly where he was, but TMZ Sports actually ended up tracking him down. They asked him a question if he actually agreed with LeBron James on this issue of, the NBA is to blame for the injuries that has plagued the NBA playoffs. And surprisingly, folks, Shannon Sharpe actually kind of sounded a lot like us. This is a shocker, actually, to tell you the truth. Now, he didn't necessarily say he completely disagreed with LeBron James, but he said, you know what? The players, they are at fault as well for this. I'm pretty sure that's not going to make LeBron James happy whatsoever with those comments, but we're going to be diving into that a little bit more in this video, guys. But first, make sure you guys go over to blackandwhitenetwork.com. Check out the content there. Memberships available just starting at $5 per month. We post private videos over there just on the website for the members. But if you don't want to do that, we do have a donation tab where you can actually just donate directly to blackandwhitenetwork.com or shop for the merch. And just for today only, since it's Father's Day, use the discount code JamelSucks, S-U-X, all one word, and we're going to give you 22% off your purchase, folks. So let's get into this, guys. Shannon Sharpe discusses LeBron James calling out NBA for a schedule amid injuries. Now, of course, LeBron James was not actually going to say any of this if he wasn't eliminated from the playoffs. He didn't bring any of this up until after he actually got eliminated from the playoffs. Think of this. He didn't bring it up at the beginning of last season. At least I don't recall that anyway. Or, sometime this year. He did not do it. He waited till he was eliminated from the playoffs and then he complained. But it says here, Pro Football Hall of Famer and co-host of FS1's Undisputed, Shannon Sharpe sounded off Friday on Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James' take regarding why so many star players had gotten injured in the NBA this season. LeBron took to Twitter on Wednesday and blamed the injury on the short offseason and condensed schedule on the heels of last season's running long due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, folks, they only played 65 games last season. That's it. And once the league was actually shut down in March because of the virus, the players got 4.5 months off and then went to the bubble. And guess what? Not every single team actually went to the bubble. And LeBron James, you didn't actually have to go to the bubble. For the most part, you weren't even there anyway for basketball. You went there for social justice reasons. And that's the only reason why players actually agreed to go back to finish out the season is so they can actually protest for Marxism. Another story. I digress. And we already saw here, LeBron screaming and whining like the SJW is. They all didn't want to listen to me about the start of the season, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. But this is what Shannon Sharpe had to say when asked about if he actually agreed with LeBron James. And it says this. While Sharpe didn't disagree with the rationale, he expressed his belief to TMZ Sports that the players are equally responsible for the short offseason as the owners and the NBA as a whole. So this is what he actually said here. He says, quote, "Look, the NBA wanted to recoup some money. They were in a pandemic and lost money, but the players wanted to get those paychecks. They couldn't play without the NBA and the NBA Players Association agreeing. So everybody's equally culpable because they needed the money and the players wanted the paycheck. It is what it is." And I can't believe this, but I'm actually agreeing with Shannon Sharpe on this. He's absolutely correct. You know, both sides actually had to agree. But LeBron James talking about they didn't want to listen to me because it's all about him, even though he's actually a part of the Players Association. And guys, Shannon Sharpe brings up that the NBA lost money. They didn't just lose money. They lost $1.6 billion in revenue last season. That's a whole bunch of money. And once they got to that bubble, they started alienating fans, and fans really haven't come back. So the NBA, they wanted to start the season as soon as possible. Now, LeBron James, you got your bubble championship. You should be happy with that. And you should have known if you won the title, chances are you would actually have to start earlier than what you actually probably would like. So deal with it. This is your job. Stop complaining. But this is what LeBron James does. He plays the victim. He's always whining. He's always crying. Even this guy, Shannon Sharpe, can't really fully defend LeBron James on this. He's right about that. Those players, once those paychecks stop coming in, trust me, the players will end up wanting to play. They will. And think of this, LeBron James. You're making a whole bunch of money anyway. Think of the 13th guy at the end of the bench. But LeBron James doesn't actually think of that. The 13th guy sitting at the end of the bench, or the 12th guy, however many people it is, that guy is probably like on a 10-day contract or something like that. He wants this opportunity because you know what? Not every player is making $30, $40 million in the NBA. Not every player. That last guy at the end of the bench, he wants to get paid. He wants to play. He wants to be able to make a name for himself, probably in the NBA, because nobody knows who he is. I mean, can you guys actually name the 13th player or the 15th player on the NBA team? You probably can't. Those guys are just trying to make it. They don't get the big money that LeBron James is getting. But of course, you know, it's all about him. It always has to be all about him, guys. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Shannon Sharpe's comments, blaming the players as well, holding them to the same standard as the NBA? You guys want a paycheck? The NBA, they want revenue. They want both. You guys agree to this. You just have to deal with it. And Shannon Sharpe, he's right on the money. I'm pretty sure that I'll probably never agree with Shannon Sharpe once again. I'm pretty sure that I won't. But this one occasion, he's right on the money. The players, you agreed to this 72-game season because you wanted to get paid. And trust me, everybody, players and owners, they love their money. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this, Black and White Sports fans? Let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.